Sunday, the 28th of February, 2016.
I've had a lot of fun with the back here, it was great. So we started off with something really basic, which was our screw twist, which from this position I'm just twisting my shoulders to the left and going on my knees. And that's a really good confidence builder. It shows that you can basically dip you without taking you off your balance.
Okay, and followers are responsible for their balance and a lot of these. You don't want to be throwing yourself into stuff. But I should be able to just hold that in a fixed position.
From this angle, that's a nice angle. Yeah. And then we made that look a little bit bigger by looking over our right shoulder and raising this hand up. It's the same deal though, really, so just looks a little bit larger.
Then we danced into it for some time.
Then we had this little variation, which was just this inside turn, hand onto the shoulder, and then dropping on there. We started off with a knee on the bum, which went bum, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum, and plonk until we were confident we were going to end up in the right position. Then took the knee away afterwards, bum, ba, ba, bum, straight into it. Really big step to the side for me with that leg, and then I can let go with that arm.
Okay, again, Bruce is helping me find a secure place to hang on with the inside turn. He's taking that hand and actually putting it on the shoulder. So straight away I've got a safe place to hang on.
I've got really good contact all the way across the back.
And I'm trying to sit into that again rather than throwing myself back.
And she's on my knee, I can let go with that hand if I need to. She's supportive. Great, and then we did something very similar with this hand, which went boom, boom, like that, from this angle. Boom, which again is very similar. I'm plonking onto the knee basically, it's just a nice little gentle sit on the knee. Good free spin, massive rotation on there, get a rotation. Keep the rotation turning, make contact, and then just step into it.
Okay, with this one, leaders need to come in low enough so that followers' hands can just go over the top and aren't going to get tangled underneath. Followers must keep turning into it, and we come hip to hip, and then my right arm goes around the waist, which allows me to drop low and safe, rather than hanging onto the shoulder where I could slip off.
So in full pop.
I've still got a foot underneath me as well. I haven't completely relied on laying it.
And I'm very much in my safety position, which is just this invisible motorbike. Then we had cake and coffee and stuff, and then we looked at some walking ones, which the first one we did was just a little trip, like a slide to the side, and then a plonk onto that leg. So it's building up on what we've done already.
Okay, I'm going for a bit of a hug again here, so trying not to help. My foot's getting pushed out, and then Bruce is rolling me across, and I'm taking a big step onto my right, which again stays under my centre of gravity.
I feel safe. I feel like it's, I've put her in a good safe position, which is on my knee. Again, I can let go from there if I need to. Yeah. So I can just do that at any count we like, so we can just go for a little walk. And when you feel like it, straight into it. Then we did the Charleston variation, which was a sneaky little catch on there and plonk into it. Again, same deal really, except it's a faster turn. I'm stepping to the right to make that happen, rather than to my left. So I've got boom, bam, hook, step to the right into my safe position. You're pivoting on the one foot.
Yeah, so I'm not actually stepping into this, so it's really important for leaders to remember that my pivot point is on the right foot, which is furthest away from them, and not to try and pull me over there this time, but to come to me.
So she's turning on this axis here through, boom, so I kind of go around there a little bit, rather than trying to drag her down this side. Because if I did, I'm not going to do it now. You can tell what's going to happen.
Okay, once again, as usual, I'm not throwing myself back into this or anything, but if there's a free arm, I can start to glamorise slightly. I think we talked about this at some point. So yeah, free arm can come into play. Nice sort of slightly curved Lindy leg rather than ramrod.
If you want to perform and show off the angles that go into my arm, are very important as well. If I just did it like this, it looks a little bit crap. Then it was the scorpion jumping head. So I'm really coming underneath. So knee to bum. It's going rock, step, down, tuck your in, you're actually right behind you there. So this part of the hip is right down there.
So again, because we're placing my hands further up on the shoulder than usual, I'm kind of able to use that to help to hold myself nice and high rather than sagging into it. We're using this front hand as well. That's helpful for me to sort of push into as well to keep myself high. And we talked about thinking about where the follower's centre of gravity is, which is here. So you need to get underneath that so you don't knock it out, but get underneath the pivot point to swing your legs.
So rock, step, yeah. And I just carry on my forwards momentum really, and that helps drive it up and forwards.
Okay, and if I sort of let this happen, but hold plenty of kind of core strength, and allow my legs to swing, eventually, with practice, you'll get the feeling of the left leg starting the swing and the right leg coming after, and then the rest of it is flexibility, depending on how high your legs will go, depending on your own flexibility.
So one leg follows the other, like a little Newton's cradle or something.
Tight jeans won't necessarily help that one.
And then we looked at an entry to that which looked like 1, 2, 3, 4, step. So it was it was like a pass by, I did it from this angle. So it went pass by, change the hands on 4, 3, 4, step, really whipped in, and that's kind of brought her in close to me anyway. Kind of come forwards from there.
Okay.
That was a bit of a brute.
Yeah, it takes a bit of figuring out which leg is the best one for me to be on, but the leader has to kind of stop my momentum where he needs me. And actually my weight on my right kind of helps that. If it's on the left, it's harder to knock that out. Or was it the other way around?
We let people work that out themselves and work out how you can tweak that and just do it on any count you feel like by putting combinations of triples and steps in.
Does involve a confident travelling turn for the follower to get right in there in time.
Then the last one was back then here, wasn't it, after that? Which looked like this, it went rock, step. So this is about me picking my leg up onto the mat from here, boom, and getting a good bending my left knee, helps me to get my right calf sort of fairly high up into the back, into the smaller back. And then from here it's just a matter of dropping her down, keeping my hands up so that our arms can be straight without whacking her head on the floor.
Okay, so it's important for leaders not to try and tilt me backwards into this. My centre of gravity needs to come down right over my heels, because then I can actually support myself and push back out of it. And also it's really important, again, for me when this happens, not to throw my head back into this, because if anything was going to hit the ground first, it needs to be sort of my shoulder area, not my head. Okay, but as long as leaders have nice bent arms, that shouldn't happen.
And you can triple into it, you can step, or you can kick ball change. We tripled, we went boom, boom, and back out. And that was it, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.